Somewhere between the myths you were taught as a kid and the myths nobody talks about, there's a file. We usually imagine the Greek gods as beautiful, immortal beings living high above the clouds. Zeus with his lightning, Athena with her wisdom, Apollo with his golden light. But that's the version they let you keep. Open the actual file, and the ancient Greeks weren't building perfect heroes. They were describing something a lot closer to home. Us. Jealous. Proud. Reckless. Vindictive. Terrifyingly human. Case open. Let's go looking. The gods weren't the beginning. First thing the file tells you, the Olympians weren't first on the scene. Before Zeus ever sat on a throne, there were older, stranger names buried further back in the record. It starts with chaos. From there, Gaia, the earth. Uranus, the sky. Their bloodline becomes the Titans. And one Titan changes everything, Cronus. He overthrows his own father. Then makes the exact same mistake his father made, convinced his own kids are coming for the throne next. His solution goes in the file under extreme. He swallows them. The child he couldn't swallow. One by one, Cronus swallows his children, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. But when Rhea has her last child, Zeus, she doesn't hand him over. She wraps a stone in cloth and passes that off instead. Cronus swallows it. Never checks the file twice. Zeus gets raised in hiding. And here's the twist buried in the record. The king who swallowed his children gets taken down by the one he never actually swallowed. Zeus grows up. Frees his siblings. And the Titans go to war with the next generation for control of everything. The takeover. That war has a name, the Titanomachy. Zeus doesn't fight it alone. The Cyclopes hand him the thunderbolt. Poseidon gets the trident. Hades gets a helmet that makes him invisible. Together, they take the Titans down. Zeus takes the throne. Sounds like good beating evil. Case closed, right? Not quite. The file doesn't say the new gods were good. It says they won. Different entry entirely. And once you start reading the myths closely, that distinction is the whole story. Zeus. Start with the king himself. Sky. Thunder. Olympus. You'd expect discipline from someone holding that much power. The file says otherwise. Zeus was notorious for his affairs, relationships that produced a long list of gods and heroes. Hera dealt with the fallout every time. Which is the pattern the whole investigation keeps circling back to: enormous power, almost no self-control. He could command thunder, punish mortals, take down monsters. Controlling himself was a different case entirely. Hera, goddess of marriage, and one of the most formidable names in the file. Her anger landed on the women Zeus pursued, and the children born from it. Hercules is the famous entry. Hera sends serpents to kill him as a baby. He survives. She doesn't drop the case. Later drives him into madness, one of the darkest chapters attached to his name. Easy read, jealous goddess. Closer read, a woman married to the most powerful being alive, with zero ability to control him, finding other ways to make that known. Poseidon's file gets filed under, see God, but that undersells what the Greeks actually feared. He's also tied to earthquakes and storms. Picture living somewhere the sea could take your home and the ground under you could just move. Not abstract to them. That was the daily threat level. One entry. King Minos promises Poseidon a bull as sacrifice, then decides to keep it. Poseidon doesn't let that slide. The fallout becomes one of the strangest chains in the whole file, ending with the Minotaur. One broken promise. One furious god. One monster on record. Athena. Not every powerful name in this file relied on force. Athena's entry reads differently: wisdom, strategy, skill. The Athens contest is the case study. Athena and Poseidon compete for the city. Poseidon strikes the ground with his trident. Athena offers an olive tree, food, oil, wood, long-term survival. The city picks Athena. Poseidon's file says power. Athena's says usefulness. The city chose the one that helped it live. Aphrodite. Here's where power stops meaning what you think it means. Aphrodite doesn't control thunder, doesn't command armies, can't move the ground. Her weapon is desire, and desire has started more wars in this file than most of the gods with actual weapons. She could inspire love. She could also punish anyone who insulted her. Her power was never about forcing obedience. It was about making someone want something so badly they'd wreck their own life chasing it. Read that entry twice. Beauty stops looking harmless. Hades. Probably the most misfiled name in the whole record. Modern retellings turn him into the Greek version of the devil. That's not what's actually on file. Hades ran the underworld, enforced the terms of death. That alone earned the fear. But he wasn't hunting anyone down. The terrifying part was simpler. Everyone eventually showed up at his door. Kings, heroes, farmers. No exceptions, even the gods took death seriously. He never needed to chase anyone. He only had to wait. And here's the entry that reframes everyone else in the file. Nyx, primordial goddess of night. Older than the Titans. Older than Olympus itself. Even Zeus doesn't want this case escalated. One story, Hypnos helps Hera put Zeus to sleep. Zeus wakes up furious, ready for revenge. Hypnos runs straight to Nyx for cover. Zeus backs off. Read that again. The King of Olympus, the one who beat the Titans, lets it go, because he doesn't want a case opened against her. Nyx doesn't need to show up in 100 stories. One is enough to make the point stick. The pattern in the file. Here's what the investigation actually turns up. These gods were never built to be perfect. They were built to be recognizable. Zeus, authority and temptation. Hera, marriage and jealousy. Ares, war and the violence inside it. Athena, wisdom and strategy. Aphrodite, desire. Demeter, the life-giving side of agriculture. Hades, the boundary nobody escapes. Not characters. Explanations for storms, earthquakes, love, war, death, the changing seasons. For everything nobody could actually control. Why the file stayed open. Maybe that's why this file never got closed after 3,000 years. The gods were immortal, but they ran on the same emotions we do. They fell in love, got jealous, made terrible calls, wanted revenge, protected their own, made mistakes that reshaped the world. That's the difference between this and a fairy tale. Nobody up on Olympus was teaching a lesson. They were just powerful, and stuck with the same feelings everyone else has to deal with. Their arguments started wars. Their jealousy built monsters. Their love built heroes. Their anger leveled cities. The real file. So here's the actual case, underneath everything else. It was never about which god was strongest. It's this: the Greeks didn't build gods because the universe felt perfect. They built them because it felt unpredictable. The sea could kill you. The ground could shake under you. A harvest could fail. A storm could take everything. They needed a way to make sense of a world that didn't explain itself. So they gave the chaos names. Faces. Stories. They turned fear into mythology, and the noise of the world into something you could actually follow. Case stays open. But there's one more line in the file we haven't opened yet. If these gods could control storms, death, war, and desire, who was powerful enough to make them back down? Because there was a moment when even Zeus looked at something older than Olympus itself and decided this wasn't a fight worth starting. That file belongs to the gods who existed before the gods. We'll open it next time. Stay tuned.